It's nice talking to a fellow safety. You know, very few people know what it's like to deal with the pressures of playing safety, all the communication and knowing that if you make one mistake, it's a touchdown. How do you deal with that pressure?
I think just playing for a while, you know, you kind of get hip to the do's and don'ts at an early age when you start playing football. And, you know, I think I had good enough coaches around me from the high school level on to now to where, you know, they've helped me understand the game enough to where I can manage eliminating big plays and communicating and doing all the little things that it takes to be a good safety.
You play in San Diego, you play with a great safety in Eric Weddle. Coming here, you're playing with Calvin Pryor. I'm sure you and Eric Weddle had a great relationship. What is the relationship like for you and Calvin? And is it important for you to have a great relationship with you both being safeties?
No, definitely. I think it's important. I think just with the DBs in general, we all do things together outside of football. And I've always said when you get to know a guy personally off of the field, it makes you want to do more for that guy on the field and not want to let him down on the field. So definitely the relationship aspect being DBs is very important.
People always ask me, you know, being a former safety, I played free and strong safety, they ask me the difference. And, you know, I always tell people, you know, the strong safety, he's able to go out there and play with his hair on fire, kind of have attitude, don't have to worry about much. As a free safety, you have to do more thinking, more communicating. What are your two biggest differences from the two positions?
Definitely, that's right on the money. Being a strong safety, I played strong safety in San Diego, so you know, it put me closer to the box. I was able to just make plays at the line of scrimmage, run around and do all those type of things, and just basically communicate with the linebacker. But with the free safety, you're in the deep middle a lot of times, so you see more of the formation. You got to communicate more with the corners. You still got to communicate with the linebackers. You got to play that game with the quarterback, with your alignments and stuff like that. So it's definitely a little bit different mentally.
Playing with Ty Law, you know, I got a chance to play with him for a year, and he would always give me a signal, tell me he's going to jump a route. And sometimes I could help him, sometimes I wasn't there. Is Darrelle Revis that same kind of guy where he's going to let you know when he's jumping something?
I don't think Reeve is like that. I'm more like that with Reeve. But Reeve really likes to lock in, and he want to know 10 seconds before the ball snap what he's doing so he can get locked in. So that's an adjustment that I'm trying to make with him, because I'm usually like, hey, play aggressive on this, or I'll be able to take you inside. I'll be able to give you a little bit more help inside or outside. I think it's a little bit different with him.
I played for Herm Edwards, who was a former defensive back. You played for Todd Bowles, who was a former defensive back. What is that like? What is that relationship like with him knowing everything that you're thinking?
I couldn't dream for a better scenario being here with the person that wants me to be here, and the head coach being a safety. So I don't think it's a day that doesn't go by that we don't talk about how I view a certain coverage or how he sees something. And him being a former safety and a former defensive coordinator, it makes it that much easier to be able to communicate with him.
You end the season on a sour note, you know, not being able to get the victory against Buffalo, not being able to get off the field, you know, when you wanted to. Is that motivation for you all as a secondary and you personally?
I mean, especially me personally. My last 3 years, even when I was in San Diego, it always came down to the last game. And first time we won the last game to be able to go in the playoffs, and prior to coming here we lost the game that would have made us, if we would have won, we went to the playoffs. And then this past year the same thing happened for me personally, so it's definitely a chip on my shoulder. And the older guys always used to tell me, you know, don't take it for granted, because it's hard to get to the playoffs, and in my 6 years now coming up I've only been once, so definitely.